congratulations, video number 1. Let's get started today in an all-four position. So if you can position yourself with your 2 hands underneath your 2 shoulders and your 2 knees underneath your hips. And when you're positioning your arms, it's really important to support the neck and the shoulders that we start at the hands. So if you space out your fingers, pressing your index finger down, and then look at the elbows there, and if you have a quick look at mine, what you'll notice is I can drop into hyperextension quite easily. So if you're the same as me, what you want to look for is that fleshy part of the arm. You're going to turn that inwards so that they're looking at each other. And even if you don't have hyperextension of your elbow joints, it's still important to have your arms in that position. Now let's set that up, and then once that's set for yourself, you're going to lift away from the mat there, so you're really strong in your shoulders. Now if you move down to the lower part of your back, just allow the natural curve or arch to be there. And then with the shins, so that part of the lower limb there, I want you to very lightly press them into the floor so everything feels quite active. And then with your neck, if you can imagine lengthening that forward so that you have a long turtle neck. And then just keep holding there, and let's begin to breathe together. So breathing gently in through the nose and then out through the mouth. In through the nose and out again through the mouth. Staying with this for a few more moments, and what I'm after is that the position stays really strong as you allow the breath to flow through the body. Now as you inhale, continue pressing away from your mat. And then as you exhale, start to lower your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, lower your chest and squeeze the shoulder blades. Now as you're moving through, just pay attention to your elbows not bending. Try and keep your arms lengthened. And then the second thing, watch that the head doesn't drop. Let's keep our neck active so that we're strengthening the back of the neck as we're mobilizing our shoulders. So as we inhale, we're pressing away. As we exhale, we're squeezing the shoulder blades. You've got 3 more of these. Continue pressing your shins to the floor. Relaxing the lower part of your back as you're moving. Last one there, you guys. Pressing away, holding there. Now coming to more of the front end of your mat, and then bring yourself over so that you're sitting on your bottom in a cross-legged position. And I'm just going to spin so that I'm facing you. Now, if for any reason sitting cross-legged is uncomfortable for you, what I would suggest is that you grab a block or a cushion, whatever you have, and you sit on the cushion or the block, just so that your hips are propped, which puts less pressure in your hips and also in the lower part of your back. Now once you're there, arms go wide to the side. Let's have our palms facing down and our arms will be shoulder height. Now as we inhale, we're tilting the top part of the body to the left. We pop the hand down, turn the top palm, and then take a side bend. Begin to lift the arm and then restack your body. As we inhale, we go the opposite way. We turn our palm, we exhale to side bend. Inhale, lifting our arm, and then restacking the body. Now, as you're moving through with this exercise, I want you to keep both of the sit bones pressing down into the floor. And in particular, if you're going to the right-hand side, I want you to press the left sit bone down. And what you're going to feel is this opens up your lower back, offering your back a stretch. One last time. So as we inhale, we tilt, turn the palm, exhale, reach. Inhale the arm to the ceiling, and then exhale as you come back to the top, releasing the arms. Now if you did prop yourself, let's get rid of that now. And position yourself so that your feet are flat on the mat, both of your knees are bent, and your 2 hands are wrapped behind the back of your thighs. Sit as tall as you can through your spine. So you're wanting to lengthen through that lower part of your back, lengthen through your neck, and imagine that the top part of your head is reaching the ceiling. Now once you've got that space, soften the shoulders and wrap the hands to the backs of your thighs. Now let's inhale here, and then as you exhale, draw your chin down towards your chest, and then inhale as you lengthen it. Exhale, draw the chin down, and then exhale as you lengthen it. This time, draw your chin down, start to bend your spine forward, folding yourself towards your thighs. Take an inhale when you get there, and then exhale as you restack your spine, coming all the way to the top. Now, if for whatever reason you feel like you need more space, you can always do this with your legs slightly wider apart. Now let's inhale together, exhale, drop the chin, roll the spine forward. Use the arms to help you stay in position, breath in. Breath out, restacking the spine. 3 more there. Nodding the chin, curving or rounding the spine forward. Breathing in to pause, holding the stretch. Breathing out, restack from your lower back, mid back and upper back. Inhale. Exhale, chin draws down, fold the body forward. Inhale as you hold, and then exhale as you're restacking. 1 more time. Breathe in to pause, breathe out, restacking. Now starting at your hips, we're going to roll all the way down to the mat. So if you can, reach your tailbone underneath your bottom towards your heels. Use the support of your arms and guide yourself down until you're laying on your back. Now when you get there, move your heels a little closer towards your bottom. And what you're looking for here is your neutral pelvis position. Now from that position, we're ready to imprint, so we breathe in. As we breathe out, we engage lightly through pelvic floor, we flatten our lower back, and then we inhale as we release it. Exhale, gently engage pelvic floor, flatten the lower back, and inhale as you release it. So what you're looking for here is that subtle tilt of your pelvis, being mindful of not squeezing your bottom to create the movement. And what's happening is we're activating the lower abdominals and releasing our lower part of our back. 1 more time there, you guys. And then moving it into your pelvic curl, we inhale. We exhale, we imprint, so engage pelvic floor, flatten your lower back. Then start to pick up your hips, rolling your spine up bone by bone. Breathe in to hold at the top. Breathe out, melt the spine all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, release, finding your neutral pelvis. And then exhale, imprinting the spine, rolling the hips, coming all the way up. Inhale, holding at the top. And then exhale, melting your spine down. So each time that you're traveling up through your pelvic curl, I want you to imagine pulling your heels towards your bottom, even though your feet don't move. And what this will do is it will bring more activity into the back of your legs, giving you a stronger position. As you're peeling up this time, press both of the hands into the mat. And then let's lift from the crease of our bottom. You've got 2 more of these to go. Rolling the spine up, seeing if you can articulate or move bone by bone so that we're freeing up our spine, freeing up our lower back. Making this next one our last one. Now once the bottom is back on your mat, again find your neutral pelvis. So you've got your natural lumbar curve in the lower part of your back, And then keep your left hand on the top of your hip, because I want you to be able to feel your hip. Now the right leg, we're going to lift that one into what's called tabletop. So tabletop is when your knee is directly above your hip and your shin bone is level with the horizon. Now as you inhale here, lightly tap the right toes towards the floor. And as you exhale, lift your leg back up. Inhale, tap, and exhale, lift. So there's two things that you're looking for here. The first one is that the pelvis isn't rocking around. So that's why you're touching your left hip so that you can feel if that hip starts to lift. The second thing is I want you to coordinate the breath. So each time you're exhaling, you're lifting your legs, so you're using the support of your abdominals organically to help you move the limb. Last two there, you guys. And last one. And then resting that leg. Swap your hand position over to the right hip. Rest the left hand, and then let's start with our left leg in tabletop. Again, knee is above your hip. We don't want the knee in towards the chest because that's going to affect your neutral pelvis position. Shin bone is level with the horizon. And then as we inhale, we tap the floor lightly. And then exhale as we lift. Inhale as you tap. And then exhale as you lift. And just keep moving through. Again, imagining that your left leg is really light and you're focusing on your breath so the abdominals are supporting the lift. Keep checking in on that right side so that the right hip's not rocking around or moving too much. Last two there, you guys. And this is your final one. Now let's release your left foot back down onto the mat. And with both hands, if you can have them rested. And then with the upper part of the body, we're going to move into your chest lift. So we inhale. As we exhale, we draw the chin towards the chest, lengthen the back of the neck, and then begin to peel the spine up and off the mat, floating the arms. Breathe in. And then breathe out, laying the spine back down, resting the head, resting the hands. Breath out, starting with the chin, we nod, we roll our body up, and we inhale to roll the body back down. Now at this point in the programming or your learning, don't worry too much about how high you're coming up. Instead, focus on coordinating the breath and the movement and making sure that as we're coming up, we're not squeezing our bottom. Two more times, you guys. Exhale, chin to chest, roll the spine up. Inhale as you release it down. Last time, lift. This time we're going to hold. Keep breathing for me as you're holding. You'll start to feel that the neck is working here, and that's quite normal. We want to strengthen the neck. Keep curving. One more breath. And then slowly releasing the body down. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the body. Now bring both of your hands out slightly wider than your mat. Both of your legs come together, including your feet, and then wiggle your feet quite close to your bottom there, so you're essentially on your tippy toes. Squeeze both of your knees together tightly, and then as we inhale, can we twist so the knees come towards the floor on the left side. As we exhale, rolling the body back into the center. Inhale, twisting over to the right. And then exhale back to the center. So this is your spine twist, and what I'm after here is that you keep pressing both of your hands into the floor, and then focus the positioning on your rib cage. So imagine that you've actually stuck the back of your ribs down onto your mat. So that means everything below your ribs can move, but everything above your ribs will stay stationary. 3 more times. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Inhale, twist. Exhale, center. And then last one to the right hand side. hand back to the centre. Now with the left leg, send that one long, press it down into the floor. Lift your right leg to tabletop and bring your two hands onto the mat. Now keep the left hip as still as you can and continue pressing down through that left side, ready for your leg circles. Now as you inhale, begin to circle the right leg, and you can choose the direction and continue going in that one direction. So inhale to start the circle, exhale as you finish the circle. And again, the body, you're trying to keep that really still as we strengthen through your hip flexors. Three to go. Inhale and exhale to finish the circle. Making sure that we're moving from our hip, keeping stillness in the knee and the foot. And last one. Now once you finish that last one, let's stretch the right leg along the mat, rest it there. Swapping over to the left side. Breathe in to start the circle, and then exhale to finish the circle. Now the circles can be as big or as small as you like, and that will just depend on whether or not you can keep your right hip down and still. Again, just checking that you're not using your knee or your foot. They're the passenger in the movement. We're circling from our hip joint. You've got 4 of these to go from here. Inhale across the body, exhale away. For 3, across and away. Last 2, press through your right leg. And final one. Now release the left foot straight to the floor, and then let's roll on over so that you're laying on your left side. Now move the left arm underneath your head to make a pillow, and then with both of your heels you want to line them up roughly with your bottom. Now once you've got that set with your midsection, I want you to try not to let it relax into the mat so there's no activation. I want you to see if you can very lightly draw your tummy in and have a slight amount of space or a lift away from the mat there through your underside part of your waist. Now once you've set that, your right hand, if you can press the hand lightly into the floor, and then make sure the shoulder is relaxed away from your ear. Now squeeze both of your heels together, and then we breathe in to prepare. As we breathe out, squeeze your heels and lift your top knee. Breathe in to lower. So these are your closed chain clams. And what the intention is here is that you keep your feet together the whole time. You lift your knee higher than your hip, and you watch that your bottom doesn't roll backwards. So you can imagine that behind you, you have a wall. You have 4 to go. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Now if you're not feeling a lot, it's always helpful here to very gently activate internally through pelvic floor. Last 2. Last one. And then releasing your leg. Staying on the same side, stretch both of your legs out long. Straighten both of your knees and flex your feet so your toes are pulling towards your nose. The setup of the arm is the same and the underside waist is the same. Now let's breathe in, prepare. And then as we breathe out, our top leg lifts higher than our hip. Inhale as you lower it down. Exhale as you lift. So when you're working through this exercise, again, I want you to try and keep that underside waist away from the mat. Keep pressing the right hand gently down. And as you're lifting, imagine that you're reaching your heel away from you. So you're almost elongating your body in a sense. Last 3 there, and 2, and last 1. Releasing there. Now let's flip over so that we can do the other side. So if you want to roll over, that way you're on your right hand side from here. Laying on your right arm, bending your knees with your heels lined with your bottom. making sure your underside waist isn't touching the mat, and then the left hand is lightly pressing. Squeeze your heels together and inhale, and then as you exhale, lift your top leg. Inhale as you lower. So keeping the squeeze of the heel even when you're lifting, so you've got activity in the inner legs. I mentioned on the other side that a slight engagement of pelvic floor can be beneficial here, so you're welcome to give that a try. And we have 3 more of these together. And 2. Last one. Releasing there. Send both of your legs out long, setting your underside waist and reaching really long through your heels with your toes flicking up to your nose. Breathing in to prepare for your side lift. Breathe out, lifting the leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Trying to keep both of your knees straight. And we have 4 more to go. 4, 3. Last 2. And last 1. Releasing there. Now laying onto your tummy. When you're setting onto your tummy, let's have our feet slightly apart. And then create a diamond or a triangle with your fingers. Place them down onto the mat in front of you. And just make sure they're not too close. So we don't want them underneath our face. We want them forward and away from our face. Now from that position, become aware of your pubic bone. So your pubic bone is that part at the front of the pelvis, and you've got your 2 hip bones on the side. So what I want you to do with those 3 bony landmarks is very gently press them down into the mat, so you feel like you're pancaking your hips into the floor. Now with the nose, you're going to bring that down towards the mat so that it's balancing just away from the mat. And then as you inhale, start to stretch your nose forward so that your eyes are actually looking towards your hands. And then as you exhale, release your chin back down. And again, so we're inhaling, we're stretching our nose forward, and then we're exhaling as we release it. So the idea here is that we're moving our neck into just a small amount of extension, which is prepping us for our back extension. We're going to move into that shortly. So we're inhaling, we're extending our neck, inhaling as we release it. Now the next time you inhale and extend the neck, hold the neck there. So you're looking at your fingers and you're holding your neck in position. Press your hands down into the mat and start to lift your chest up. Your neck hasn't really moved a lot, but your body has, which will lift the neck and the head organically. Now as you exhale, soften your chest all the way back down and then roll your nose back under. Breathe in, stretching the nose forward. Start to lift all the way up, extending your upper spine. Then exhaling to melt the rib cage, the body all the way back down. Now as you're moving through this exercise in your own timing, just remember to continuously check in to make sure you're anchoring your pubic bone and your 2 hip bones. If you're feeling any pain in the lower part of the back, I'd recommend not coming up as high. Just start with a smaller back extension. Last 2, inhale, float. Exhale, release. And last time, inhale, float. Lift, extend, and exhale as you soften. Now bring both of the hands by your chest, lift yourself up, and reset your all 4 position, like we did at the very start of the program. So space out your fingers, check your fleshy parts of your arms, and then press yourself away from the mat so you've got your strong frame in your shoulders. Now focusing on this lower part of your back here. So we start with the natural curve in our back. Inhale as you prepare, and then as you exhale, very lightly engage internally through pelvic floor. Start to wrap your tail between your bottom cheeks and curve just that lower part of your back. Inhale, release it out. So this is a little bit tricky to feel. Just give it a go. But what you're trying to achieve is that there's minimal movement in the upper part of your back and minimal movement in the shoulders and the neck. Inhale, release. And then exhale as you curve. Last two. And last one there. And relaxing. Tucking both of your toes under or feet under. And you're going to keep your knees bent for this one. Now curve your back just like you practiced. And then from there you're going to hover your knees off the floor, keep them bent. And then start shifting your shoulders towards your knees. So you're starting to practice the pike. Press your index fingers down into the floor. Keep lifting out of your shoulders and relax your head down heavy. Knees are still generously bent and we're reaching our bottom right up to the ceiling. Staying here for a few more moments. Keep connecting to the breath as you're holding. Again, keeping that soft bend in your knees, start to step your hands towards your feet. You're going to come into a forward fold position with your knees bent and just allow your head to drop really heavy and your arms and shoulders to relax. Now the next time you breathe out, start to draw your waist up and begin to peel your spine up. So you're rolling up until you're back to standing. Now let's break that down together. So we're inhaling as we get to the top. Now as you exhale, you're drawing your chin down. And I want you to imagine that you're trying to roll each segment or bone of your spine piece by piece. Now as you come to about this halfway point, I want you to bend your knees and go all the way down, but keeping a bend in both of your knees. Inhale. And then exhale, press into your heels, draw up your waist and start to roll your spine back up. As you're coming up, then you can re-lengthen the legs there. Breath in, breath out, draw the chin down, rolling top part of your body, mid, lower, bending your knees and folding the body down. Inhale. Exhale, start at your tailbone, draw it down to the floor and then rolling up all the way to the top. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, chin leads, curve the back. Bend your knees, heavy your head. Inhale. And then exhale as you're rolling the spine all the way